Welcome. I apologize for the handcuffs. That is purely procedure. I am aware. Yes, I am aware that you didn't hurt anyone and that you are unarmed in a very secure facility with multiple armed guards. But yes, this is just procedure for interviewing any kind of criminal. Correct. Your criminal background does not disqualify you from this interview. This is the first interview. There will be more if you pass our criteria. This interview is being recorded and I will be typing extensive notes regarding this interview and your answers. Do not be alarmed. It does not mean that you're doing badly if I'm typing extensive or even excessive notes. We will ask primarily personality and behavioral questions and then end with some of the yes or no. And then if things are going well, we will end with some of our deal breakers for this position. Most likely though, the deal breakers would be in a second interview, so don't be concerned if we don't have time to get to those today. How did you hear about the position? How do you know him? He is still alive? He still remembers us? You worked with him? He isn't contained anymore. Fascinating. We will need to see if we can track him down. If we talk to him, what would he say about you? That's an interesting use of the term nice guy. What do you know about the secret organization, business, bureau? So when you figured that out and learned about us from your contact, and you found that out, you then applied for this position from your cell. Why did you apply for this position, knowing what we do? Knowing that, why would you even want to work for this company? So then what are your career aspirations? In that case, you could work for any company. What would it be? Right. But with your criminal background check, that's an impossibility. So you're looking for an alternative route, branch, a path of career climbing, as a reputation for what you do best has been publicly placed everywhere. You're no longer a viable hiring candidate for most corporations, seeing as what you've done in your past forbids you from being able to do it again. I see you have a taste for luxury and finer things, the more glamorous lifestyle. Are you comfortable with travel? Yes, but what if it isn't first class? That's good. Do you have a valid license, and if needed for international work, do you have a valid passport, or would you need time to get a passport prior to this position. If you were offered the job and started working here, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Thank you. Yes. Truly, thank you for presenting that in a professional manner. I know you did not want to answer those questions without, let's call it, an attitude. But I ask these questions for a reason. It's not just the reason you think that I'm asking them. No, we are very specific with why we ask these questions. And we're very careful about why we ask these questions in this way. Everything here has been carefully planned and calculated ahead of time, especially for the candidate. Yes, these are behavioral-based questions. We're looking at your behavior, not in just your answer, but in how you answer. So thank you. Can you walk me through your resume? So then what was your reason for leaving that position? Are you uncomfortable? Good. Stop. You skipped over this gap in your employee history. What happened there? You currently still work there? Interesting. Do you have any problems with unusual shift work, odd shifts, graveyard shifts, changes to your shift schedule, being on call and working overtime? Interesting. What is your best skills or strengths? What is your greatest weakness? So then, what is your biggest professional regret? And why? Is your regret what you did? Or is it that you got caught? Please, be honest. No, I'm not typing this down. Because you're lying to me. And if you're lying to me, then why should I type that down? Thank you. Tell me a story about how luck played a role in your life. That's a nice story, but can you tell me about how luck played a role in your life? Okay. What is your secret superpower or skill? You wouldn't say it's being believable, having people put their trust and investment in entire lives, their entire futures in your hands just for you to steal it? It is a question. So what do you do in your spare or free time? And if you weren't in a contained and controlled facility, what would you prefer to be doing in your spare or free time? What motivates you or excites you at work? What are your hobbies, interests, or special skills? Look, I want to get to know you. Not in that kind of way. I mean, we really need more of a connection, more of who you are. Because right now, looking at your resume, you're not fit for this position. And your reasoning for wanting this position, they don't match. Now, I want to know why you're interested in the occult. I keep mentioning it, but you haven't told me why. When did you first hear about the otherworldly things? And what made you seek out and crave to learn more about this? Interesting. What was the last new kind of technology or computer program, piece of software that you had to learn or incorporate into your work? That's just a basic update to your operating system. Okay. Tell me about a time when you failed and how you handled it. I'm going to stop you there. Okay. I'm going to repeat the question. I'm going to repeat the question very carefully and very slowly. Tell me about a time or an event when you failed and how you handled it. Don't tell me about a time of someone else failing. Don't tell me about a time when you did everything right and it was someone else's fault. Don't tell me about a time when you failed to communicate to someone else and they messed up because of a communication error. You know very well what I'm asking about. And then I'm asking how you handled it. Not how did the company handle it. Not how did the lawyers handle it. Not how did the problem get resolved. Unless you were the one resolving it. Clear? Well, good then. Continue. Much better. Now tell me, how do you handle short-term and long-term stress? Tell me about a time when you successfully persuaded and motivated someone to see it your way. What is your favorite year that you have been alive? If you could rename any of the months of the year, which one and what would you rename it? Why? What is something that you always forget exists? What is under your bed? What is your phone number backwards? That is incorrect. Would you like to try again? That is incorrect again. Would you like to try again? Correct. That second time was accurate. Do you have any allergies? Any allergies at all? You're allergic to weakness. I feel like I've heard that before. Do you like animals? What is your favorite animal? What is your favorite oxymoron? That's interesting. A harmless crime or a victimless crime? Mind elaborating on that? Why is it your favorite oxymoron and not your least favorite oxymoron? Interesting. Have you ever thought about or wished that you would fall asleep and not wake up? It's a very important question, actually. Can you keep a secret? Have you been keeping a secret from me during this interview? What is that secret? Why? And why do you believe it's so important that you keep it a secret? Interesting. How would you define success? That is a very bleak and unfortunate perspective on the world, especially seeking what you are of this other world. Do you think you're really ready if that's how you define success? To see the other side? You could start over your career again, knowing what you know now, and knowing what you have done. Is there anything you would have done differently, knowing what you did and how it turned out? Really? Do you honestly believe that there was any way you weren't going to get caught? Why should we not hire you? Do you have any experience with weaponry, guns, ammunition, or explosives? So you've done your research. You know what we do here. How have you prepared yourself for what you do, for what we do here, for what you know you might be facing? Any training, practice? So how would you fight a vampire? How would you fight a zombie? How would you fight a ghoul? How would you fight a ghost? How would you fight a mummy? How would you fight a dragon? How would you fight a chupacabra? How would you fight a yeti? I'm going to skip that. Do you have any questions for me? That is classified. That's restricted. That is also classified. Excuse me, what? It's a nice tie. Yeah, I wear this all the time. It's like my favorite tie. I don't care about where you shop for suits. This I think I look very professional and very good. And most people who interview don't remember this interview at all. You probably will be one of those people who will not remember this interview at all. What do you mean intimidating? I don't mean to be intimidating. And you think I'm rude. Okay. But they're sunflowers. They're nice. They're pretty. It's whimsical. It's charming. It brightens up the place. So I'm too intimidating, and I'm too rude, and I'm too welcoming at the same time. You do realize that I mentioned everything we do here is for a reason. It's for a purpose. It's to set the scene, the mood. And it's tailor-made for the individual. Just a few quick questions. Okay? Just a few more last minute questions. Do you have any tattoos or piercings that you would not be willing to have removed? Do you have any concerns with any of the following? Arachnophobia, heights, enclosed spaces, bright lights, being in total darkness, strobing light effects, loud noises, cloud noises. Do you have any motion sicknesses? Being frozen or placed in a cryostasis chamber? Do you have any concerns regarding avian-type creatures? Do you have any concerns with things that you do not think exist? Do you have any concerns with being lost in time and space? Do you have any issues with space travel? Any issues regarding dimensional disorders of paranormal abnormalities and temporal continuity collisions of an echoing oblivion that distorts the cognitive cohesion of events? Good. All right. Thank you for your time. I hope you have a wonderful day. If you don't mind, please leave a comment with the front desk. And after doing that, don't forget to hit that bell on your way out of the building. Don't worry about hearing back from us. We'll find you and bring you in. If you're not accepted, you shouldn't have any worries ever again. Thank you for your time. Have a good day and sleep well.